It's okay to admit it. You feel lonely sometimes because you live alone, or don't have a boyfriend or girlfriend, or don't feel like you have deep friendships in your church or your workplace. You are not alone in feeling alone. But when we're by ourselves, there are some really deadly lies we often believe that make us feel hopeless. What if I told you that we know what those lies are? And I'm going to expose them, and I'm going to tell you the truth in this video. And those truths just may help you out of the darkness into freedom and healthy relationships. Keep watching. Today, we're going to deal with the 3 lies about loneliness that us Christians need to stop believing. If we know the lies and know God's truth, that'll begin to pull us out of our fears and our anxieties and allow us to actually flourish. A deeper relationship with God is available to us, and deeper relationships with other people are available to us. But only if we fight these 3 lies. What's the first lie? God isn't with me. We feel like we have to figure out our lives on our own, that God doesn't really care about our lives, or he's just kind of up there in heaven somewhere looking down or figuring out bigger things. And maybe it's just because he's let us down before. But God's certainly not with me right now in my apartment on a lonely Friday night. I want to encourage you, before you touch your phone to cope with feeling lonely, don't. God is super clear about where he is. In Psalm 139, God tells us that he's everywhere you go. You can't get away from God if you tried. Right? Let me read it. Psalm 139. It says, if I ascend to heaven, you're there. If I make my bed in Sheol, you're there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there your hand shall lead me, and your right hand shall hold me. God's omnipresent. He exists everywhere. But he has a special relationship of closeness with those who belong to him because they trust Jesus. In fact, if you're a Christian, God isn't just with you, he's within you. God's Holy Spirit is dwelling inside you. Jesus said in John chapter 14, and I will ask the Father, and he'll give you another helper to be with you forever, even the Spirit of truth. You know him, for he dwells with you and will be in you. This is the triune God's plan for you, to be with you. Jesus the Son asked God the Father to send the Holy Spirit to live within us forever. This isn't just really helpful theology. It's tied to a specific practice, prayer. Because God's with you, that means your prayers are even more intimate than you imagined. No one else is so close to you that they live inside you, but the Spirit is. God's Spirit within us, knowing our hearts, even when we stumble through our words, he makes us able to come to the Father and helps us. Romans chapter 8 says, likewise, the Spirit helps us in our weakness. We don't know what to pray as we ought, but the Spirit himself intercedes for us with groanings too deep for words. He who searches the heart knows. The Spirit intercedes for the saints, according to the words of God. So don't just believe God's with me, pray as an act of intimacy. God, you know how my heart feels right now. God, you know the anxieties I feel. God, I'm just going to embrace your nearness and your provision right now. Perhaps the most intimate thing you can do when you feel lonely is pray. I can tell you from experience that it isn't a quick fix just to pray, but over time, as you pray, you'll sense and feel God's presence within you, that he loves you. What's the second lie we believe? No one cares about me. There may be a very small group of people for which this is true, that they have no relationships on this earth of people who actually care about them. And if that's the case, then you may have an opportunity to be like many of the persecuted church who've suffered isolation and hatred. They had the opportunity to remember our earthly relationships don't define our eternal purpose. But for most of us, that lie just isn't true. You have a grandma who's praying for you, or a friend who's thinking about you, or a coworker who appreciates you, or a person that you serve at church who depends on you. The prophet Elijah thought this lie when he ran from the evil queen Jezebel after he did a miracle. He told God, I only am left, and they seek my life to take it away. This is 1 Kings 19. But then God does 3 things for Elijah. He provides for Elijah. He sends angels to feed him and makes him rest. Then he tells him this lie isn't true by pointing to people. He says there's 7,000 Israelites who also follow God. And then he sends him on his purpose. God still has important things for Elijah to accomplish. So, friend, God has provision for you. He wants to provide for you. There's people who really do care about you, and God has a purpose for you, a task for you to complete. One of the things that helps me most of all in my loneliness is not just thinking of myself all the time. I try to put in my life opportunities where I can commit to the tasks that God's calling me to. Maybe it's serving in my church, or praying for people with them in the moment, or on my own, or calling a friend who's going through a hard time, or lingering in a conversation with someone. God has a task for your life this week. It's a chance to walk with him and with others as you do it. Okay, here's the third lie. I will never find intimacy. We try to predict the future, but we can only live in the present. Don't say, I will never. You don't know. And we need to be careful in putting the pressure on everyone else to come in and pursue me and give me intimacy. I have an opportunity. How can I connect my life to others? Intimacy looks different in different relationships, but you really can find intimacy when you offer trust and open up your life. A small conversation with a grocery store checkout person, a deeper conversation with someone in your church to open up, but don't become a self-fulfilling prophecy. I will never find intimacy because I will never offer trust to people. Instead, take one step forward this week and try a real conversation, not just text, but voice to voice or face to face. So, with all that in mind, what's our next step today? Call somebody. Use that phone of yours for something good. Set up a phone call with another Christian that you trust who can help remind you of the truth and purpose of your life. Maybe it's your mom back home. Maybe it's your friend or someone from your church or even a pastor. But open up a little bit and let them in. Hey, I've just been struggling with some loneliness. I'm tempted to feel like I'm alone. I'd love some encouragement, and I also want to hear about your life, and maybe we can pray for each other. It might be the best call you've made in a while. Thanks for hanging today. Let me know how God helps you navigate through loneliness on this episode here in the description and comments, or let us know on our socials. Check out everything we're doing at Binmin at binmin.org, and definitely sign up for the newsletter so you're going to get exclusive content direct from us. Thanks so much. God bless.